Okay, what I'm going to do here is we have our panel here. Let me check the action script, make sure it's not the invisible isn't as set to this. And I'm going to right click and cut that panel and put it inside of this movie here that's called that used to be called ZDRO. Go inside of here, and then all of our elements are in here, and our buttons. And I'm going to create a layer, and I'll call this this is the Z panel, and press enter, and then just drag and drop this down here, and then I'll lock all these and make sure it goes on this layer. I'm just going to paste this in and drag this into its down state, exactly where I want it to be in the down state here, which is about right here. And then you can just change exactly where you want these to be. I'm trying to utilize as much space by pushing these up as close as I can right in here, and this is about square to this. So I am going to then, so this is when the panel is completely out, and so I'm going to come in here, right click, and I'm going to insert a keyframe. So now I know that in this state it needs to be closed, and so I'm going to click on there, shift, and by holding down shift it'll keep it in place, and it won't allow it to, whoops, I didn't push the shift, and it won't allow it, it'll allow it to go back and forth or up and down, but it should be staying in, it should force it to stay up and down here. Let me actually back out a little bit. So I can do by holding down shift, and then I'm going to drag it up. It should keep it in place, so I can't turn it right to left, and then put it in a position where I know that it's not going to be visible here. So let's take a look. Alright, and so basically I'm going from that state to this state. So I'm going to select all these, I'm going to drag these out, and then drag them back, and then that way they're on all those frames. So here is my my closed state, and then it goes to my open state for this this layer here. So closed and then open, and then our only thing that we have to do here is so when it is in the closed state, we just need to be able to hide this. So that when we create our mask here, I'll make another layer. It wants to be on top, and we'll call this the Z mask. And what we want to do is when we do our mask, we want to tell it to just have the area that we want visible. So everything will be hidden except for that area of the mask that we create here. So I know that, and actually before I create it there, let me go to the open state. So I know that the size that I want visible is this entire area inside of the movie. And this mask will only affect inside the movie. So I know I want it to be here. Make sure you don't have a outline state, just a solid state. And so that is my mask. That'll be the only area visible. Everything that's outside of this area will be invisible. And I don't have to add any keyframes or anything like that. So I click on here, right click, and do mask. And now you can see that it's visible here, but in this state, the up state, it's invisible. You can't see it. So now we just simply, to create a motion tween to show that up state, and let me actually hide this mask. So you can see here's our, this is our actual panel that we brought in. To do this motion tween, we would just simply right click and do create motion tween, and now it'll tween in and out, and now our mask is created as well. And just by locking these two, we'll create the mask. And so as it comes in, it's hidden in its up state. So now to do the opposite here, we're just going to simply highlight, and then the first frame, hold down shift, that'll select all of those, right click and copy frames, select on the next empty frame and paste frames. And now we're going to highlight this again, right click, and do reverse frames. And one thing, when we reverse it, everything's working fine. It'll come up, and then it'll come down, and then come back up. Just check on this last frame. When you do reverse, it tries to add another motion tween, just so select none for this last frame, but we still want this motion tween here at the beginning. just take out that last one. Now in order to, we're just going to drag these incidences out so that they're still present throughout the whole tween here. And you can see up and down. In order to have this button on the first frame, we want this button to tell it to play frame 2. And when it gets to here, we want this button then to tell it to play frame 6. So we're going to unlock this button here, and we're going to actually insert a keyframe here. And then this is a good way to get around if and else statements for action scripts. So we're going to select the button, go to action scripts, and on press we're going to do go to and play, and this is going to be 2. Oops, go to. Let me actually do this. Oops, go to capital A and capital P, play, and then that'll play frame 2. So I don't have too much screen here to work with. I try to, in order for me to do the videos, I try to minimize the screen as much as I can to compress in file size. So let's see here if I can show you better. On the button, we actually put the script on the button, so on press go to and play 2. So we're on frame 1 here. It'll go to and play frame 2, which will play out. So we just need to do a stop function. So I'm going to add a layer here for our actions just to add in our stop. I'm going to insert a keyframe. So when Flash starts up, it'll automatically stop on this first frame, and then when they press the button, it'll go to play go and play frame 2, which then will play the animation. Let me see, show you here. So when Flash starts up, it'll stay in this state. Once you press on this button, the go to and play 2, it'll play, and then we want it to stop right here. So we're going to insert a frame, another keyframe, and just press on that twice. And on this keyframe, we'll do another stop. And then what will then happen is now when Flash first starts up, it'll be on the stop. They'll push the button, and it'll go to and play, and then it'll stop here. Now the reason that we want this button to be separated with the keyframe is on this state, when they push the button, we don't want them to play frame 2. Instead, we want to, oops, highlighted too much. Go to and play 6, and that is frame 6 is then we're on frame 5 right here on this stop. Frame 6 is then playing the closed. Now on this very last frame, we're going to insert instead of a stop, we're going to do a go to and play, and we're going to, go to and stop, because now we want it to go back to frame 1. So go to and stop frame 1. And this is more than masking, but I just want to show you how everything works here. So the user comes in, and I'm going to actually close this property here so we can see what's going on. So the user, so it's stopped on this frame. The user presses the button, and it goes on press go to and play 2. So the frame head plays frame 2. Then it'll stop here on frame 5. And on our actions on the button, it'll say on press go to and play frame 6. And we're on frame 5, so it'll come here and play frame 6, play all that. When it gets to this frame, it'll go to and stop 1 and reinitialize the whole animation here. And that's it. And this can be used for many things. So just remember, with the masking is going to only be the area that you're going to be actual visible here.